Wowee! Welcome to In the Psychic Flow. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a wonderful guest today. The fabulous, funny, philosophical, phenomenal psychic Joanne Leo. One of a kind. So she will be taking if you have a special person in your life that you want to check out, this is in honor of Valentine's Day. We have this special guest. So exciting. You might want to get the date of birth and the way his name, the original name, his or her, guys can call in too. It's not just ladies. And we will check out that person and see what they're about and see if that's the perfect gal or guy for you, right? Or about yourself, about your love life, or if you have any other questions, if you have someone that you want to speak to in the departed life, in the other afterlife, let me know. So with that, let me bring on and welcome Joanne Leo, Psychic Joanne Leo, to our show. Joanne, it's great to see you.
Hi, Carolan. Great to see you too.
We have, let me see if we have any people. We have people in the chat room. Let's see. Thanks. No, Jimmy Mac doesn't do video. Oh, okay. So that answered our question about Jimmy Mac.
Okay.
We have been praying for Frank.
Which we appreciate.
Okay. Eileen, do you have a question for us, Eileen? Let's see. So let's talk a little bit while we wait for people to jump on here. Sarah? Talk a few minutes while you wait. Okay. Yes, I am. Marnie. Oh, hi, Marnie. Eileen. Got a lot of people. Hello, all. Hi, Sarah. Do you have any questions for us? Let me see what she says. Joanne's website is psychicjoanneleo.com. Please check that out. Her phone number is on there. You can call her for an appointment. Very detailed information you get from, whoops, on air now. We hear that. Let me make sure I'm not too loud. Let me get to 50. Okay. Sometimes I get a little feedback. I'm still rather new at this, in case you haven't guessed. Joanne's readings, she promotes her readings as, or labels her readings as, tarot with a twist and readings from the heart. Now, I can personally attest to Joanne does a fabulous reading. You will never get this kind of reading from anybody. And I only use the best. Joanne is one of the creme de la cremes, the fabulous people, my network of go-to people. If you want to know an angel intuitive, I have that. If you need your house cleans of ghosts, I have that. If you need a particular tarot reading or something like that, I have that. If you need a palmist, we have that. If you would like to speak to the departed, I have that. Joanne Leo gives a particular tailored reading with information just on you. It's totally unique. Right, Joanne? You're getting, with your date of birth and the way your name is spelled, your original name, your birth name, is your record in heaven. Correct, Joanne?
That is correct. That's how you're registered in heaven. It's your blueprint. And I interpret the blueprint, yes. Okay.
Now, Joanne, we already have a question. We are also being seen on YouTube. Hello, YouTube users. Thank you very much. Kavita. Hi, Carolan and Joanne. Would love to receive any details about a significant man coming in, description. When will I meet him, etc. Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day, ladies. Thank you. Same to you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Her birthday is
4/11.
4/11.
Well, this is a fabulous year for you, for the simple fact that it's the time for breaking out and doing something new. Now, for people who have heard me on Carolan shows prior and Jimmy Mac's show, is that it's very, very important that you have a non-negotiable list. And Carolan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because, we can meet someone and we have in our heads, we got this dialogue going on or what we think we want. But unless you have a written, specific non-negotiable list. It's very, very important. Like, for instance, and it has to be written because there's power from your hand to your brain, number one. So, in other words, on my non-negotiable list, one of the things is that they have to be family oriented, have to be an excellent communicator. It has to be someone who is definitely career driven, goal driven, looks at love as a partnership, a team, not like I need, a leader or whatever. I think we need to be, conjoined on our goals. It has to be somebody, on the top of my list. If they're an alcoholic or they do drugs, then that's totally off the map for me, because I've been there, done that, and bought that T-shirt. So I just don't want to go through the rehab part anymore. It definitely has somebody who's trustworthy and somebody who I can respect. So I encourage everybody who is looking to find a love in their life is to have a non-negotiable list written. Okay. But as far as our gal goes here, Kavita, this is, honey, sky's the limit this year, so I really think that you really need to get out there. They're not going to come knocking on your doors. I've told Carolan, they're not coming there and saying, hello, I'm here for you. Yeah. No, that's not going to happen. But I do feel April, May, and June is an excellent time for you to get out and socialize, join some groups, get with your friends, go to different places, meet people. But I do feel a relationship is coming, and it looks like the perfect year for it. And so I say that spring is sprung, and spring is ready for your love life, honey. So get out there, do it, and it's not going to be the Amazon delivery, okay? So go for it.
Great. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Kavita, for joining us this evening and in the Psychic Flow chat room. We have another special viewer, a radio show host from Goldylocks Productions, Melissa Parks. She's on YouTube watching us, and her birthday is 3/30. Now, I noticed none of these girls are given their year. I don't know if that matters.
No, that's okay, because I'm just doing the personal year. And it's really funny because Melissa's in the exact same cycle that Kavita is, and it's hilarious because when I do these expos and shows, Carolan, it's amazing how people will come through and their souls are connected in some way, shape, or form. I see repeated numbers all the time. So Melissa, this is like awesome. Also, too, a part of your chart, a little bit of your chart too, is that you've been a healer in many, many lifetimes, and it's a gift from God that you have in your birth state. So I wanted to share that with you. But again, here we go. Spring is sprung. Summer's going to be very good for you. And I really feel that if you really need to not be so scared, sweetheart, I want you to kind of focus and zero in on what it is that you want. And the best thing I can tell everybody is get a piece of paper out and title it at the top. I don't care what it is. If it's a job, if it's love, it's, okay, I'm going to declutter, whatever. Do your pros and your cons and write it. Draw that line down the middle, make your pros, make your cons, get out of your head. But I do feel that this is an excellent year for you to do that. You're in a brand new cycle. You just completed 18 months of up, down, in, and out. Wow. And I always tell people there's always lessons to learn in that. Okay. So I'll leave you with that, but it looks really, really good. Also, too, I want to say a big shout out there to Marnie, who is a personal love of my life. So I know she's out there somewhere. Okay. Oh, there she is, Marnie. And Marnie is January 13th, which I know that to be true. And she's a special angel in my life anyway. Marnie's going through a really kind of unique thing. It's kind of a little frustrating with the job, so to speak. But you know what? This girl's got hearts all around her, though. So she's loved by many. She just kind of is like just a magnet. She's got the best hearts. The cycle that she's in right now is kind of like weighing things out because I think she's got some big decisions to make in the next, well, I would say the next 12 to 15 months of weighing out what's good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me, because I feel like there's some real stirring up going on there. A trip coming up in April, May, and June, maybe it could be the last part of March, but that's the cycle. And definitely some fun stuff coming up this summer. So I think it's like an adventure or maybe a long distance trip. And definitely something going on year end when it comes to the job situation or making some adjustments there. So I think that that's really kind of exciting. And my bestie is sitting right next to her, my BFF. So I want to say sending love to Sharon, sitting next to Marnie. So I hope you girls are having a good night.
Very good. Thank you, Joanne, for that. It seems to be we have Sarah here. We also have Reverend Lisa Johnson. I'm sure she's going to want a message. It seems to be, thanks, we'll get to you. Thanks. 2020, is this a preparation year?
I
Or,
love that you asked that because 2020 is pretty significant in the universal scheme of things because it's really getting law and order. And I don't mean law and order just by police, I'm talking about universal love and order.
right.
Uh, it's about balancing, it's about changing things to build a stronger foundation. Putting things like my bestie does lists. You know, I wish I could. I always call her my better half because I wish I could have half of her
Yeah.
great stuff. But this is about really finding that it signifies home, it signifies family, it signifies work, but it also signifies that I think a coming of people looking at finding that center of where do I stand mentally, emotionally, morally, and getting very clear about that. Because I think things just with technology today, it kind of makes it mush and mush. My little Italian's coming out here, but it just makes things convoluted or confusing. And I really say to people, let's stand strong in our shoes. Let's just good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. What do I need to kind of regroup uh, or restructure? How do I want to change in the most positive, uplifting way? It starts with us, and then everybody benefits too. You know, my big thing is that when I teach and I do life coaching, which you know you've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
is that the most important thing that they don't teach you in any school. I don't care if you're grammar school, high school, college, master's degree, PhD, they don't teach you to love yourself. You see, it
Right.
starts with you. So I am a big believer in I love myself. And the second part is I forgive myself. And the third thing is I totally and completely accept myself. I would welcome everybody to work on that in 2020 because when I'm talking about getting balance and getting a strong foundation, we need to clear out the debris, the emotional, mental, the boo-boos. You know, we all have boo-boos. And
Mm-hmm.
we can play games with ourselves. In between our ears is that voice that sabotages us. And I encourage everybody to work on this affirmation. So I love myself, I forgive myself, and I totally and completely accept myself. Now you have to do that consistently. I don't know if I said it hundreds of times or a
Yeah.
thousand times, but I can tell you that when you own it, it is the most beautiful feeling you're ever going to feel. You're good. You know how when you fall in love with somebody and you get those butterflies in your stomach, or you see them walk in the room or whatever, and you have that feeling of excitement. That's what I'm talking about. It's in here. So I
Nicely
think
put. Thank you.
love. So the love starts with you.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Thank you. Love starts with you. Isn't that true? Thank you,
Mhm.
Joanne. We have a lovely guest, Sarah, here, who is asking. Her birthday is July 24th.
Okay.
And she says, is there anything new career-wise coming for me this year?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I love it. This is a year for you to really move and groove, or if you're going to make a leap, or if there's a chance for you to be promoted from within, I say go for it, honey, and put rocket fuel behind you. I think this is a power year for you, and work with that affirmation, because that will definitely give you rocket fuel. I don't think there's anything more powerful than being good to yourself first and loving yourself first, because everybody benefits. I don't care if it's your friends, your children, your lover, your mate, your partner. It all starts with you. And if we're not okay and we don't love ourselves, then it's kind of fractured. Does that make sense? Yeah.
She, I'm seeing with her, I don't know if this is true, Sarah, or not. I see like a Y with her. Like, she's got a couple of different ways to go here. Would you say that's true? She have more than one choice, or she's
thinking? Absolutely. I'm looking at a couple different opportunities here. One in April, May, and June, and another one by fall if she chooses to. But I do feel that this is like really if you're going to ask for really career questions, this is the year to set your goals, or to get outside of, you can't have that inner voice in between your ears beating you up and saying you can't, because I don't believe in the word can't, but this is a year to stretch. I like always setting goals, and I always have a stretch goal, something that's outrageous. You never know how great you're going to become until you stretch. Does that make sense?
Yeah, spirit, and I'm sure you understand that you work this way too. Spirit will put you in a position where you're going to grow or expand. It feels sometimes like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards, Yeah. It wouldn't be, it's not something we would sign up for, because we like it to be nice and comfortable. At least I do. I don't want to stretch, I want to just stay where I am in my rut, with my curtains hung up in my rut, in my little, I don't know, put a potted plant there by the rut entrance, and I'm good. But that's not what we're here for. We have a purpose, and we have different, and your purpose changes, right?
Well, my spiritual teacher gave me the heads up one time, and I was studying with Ellen Zappardo, who was the Master Numerologist. She was a tough teacher. And when she was saying, we were going over our birth charts, which is your blueprint, and I was going over my blueprint and some of the things that have happened in my life, and I was like, oh my God, why would I ever sign up for this? And she said, honey, you wouldn't be doing the work that you're supposed to be doing if you didn't experience it, overcome it, and now you're supposed to teach it. So get with it. And that's the kind of girl that she was. So sometimes when we're going through challenges, we have to hold on to the thought process that only good's going to come from this, because I'm a big Florence Scovel Shin fan. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a Shin baby. So I believe that even if it's not right, doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, is uncomfortable, that I have to have my mind straight that something greater is going to come out of this.
Got it. We have a couple of questions here.
Okay.
I also want to point out Joanne's website, once again, psychicjoanneleo.com. You'll find out all about her history. The lovely lady that you mentioned, Mrs. Shin, it was wasn't it Goebel Shin?
Florence Scovel Shin.
Right.
And she wrote The Game of Life and How to Play It in 1926. So when The Secret came out and The Law of Attraction, I was kind of disappointed, because even in Shin's book, her one chapter is Law of Attraction. And so they did take some the Shin principles, and of course it got notoriety. But Louise Hay, which I'm sure a lot of the audience is familiar with Louise Hay, Louise Hay and I studied Shin at the same time. So it was beautiful for me because as she developed her different works over the years, I was right along with her. And I've had 101 miracles logged using the Shin principles. And Louise Hay, of course, had many, many miracles, which she shared with the public. And right now, with my life coaching clients, I'm using heart thoughts. It's a perfect way to start your day, and it will help you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually get a little jolt every day with a little bit of wisdom. I love it.
Lovely. Very nice. So that is, and Florence Global Shin was the pioneer. So I one of the pioneers. There aren't very many. She is noteworthy to research and to read her information, because as you said, Louise Hay yourself studied this information. So and then I consider you big guns, both of you, Louise Hay and yourself. Louise Hay is in spirit, and I think I told you once she was working with you, right?
Um, I have had contact with Louise over the years,
Okay.
to rest her soul, but uh, yes, because we're Shin babies, and so we talk the same language, you
Right.
know. And we'd also, you could, once you become proficient and takes the application, that's the secret to the whole thing, is that you actually know what's coming at you, whether somebody's trying to throw a negative at you. I like to use the example like when I started this job and I went through 5 weeks of training and I go in there really robust my first day. And here's this girl sitting 2 doors away from me going, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And I go, well, that's her truth, not my truth. That's a Shin statement. Okay.
Right.
Because other people can affect other people's feelings and their
Right.
emotional well-being. So you catch yourself once you study this, you catch what's coming at you so that you don't attach it to yourself. You don't make it part of your belief system. You stand strong in your shoes. And that's what I teach. And I love to teach people to stand strong in their own shoes, or how to get their power back, because most of the gals and guys that I have life coach have lost their powers to
Right.
either a person, place, or thing. And
Right.
usually it's another person that usually kind of sucks the life out of them. Do you see what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's kind of retooling yourself. And I pride myself on, when I teach, that I never ask somebody to do something that I haven't experienced or done myself. I'm not going to teach something because I got a certificate from taking a course from somebody who says I'm a life coach. No, no. I believe that all the things that I've studied over the years is something that I actually did myself. And I love to teach it, and I love to share it, and I love to give it to other people so that they can carry the beat goes on.
Thank you very much. Yes. And I understand um, your disappointment with The Secret and some other books that came out, in the last, decade, because they're missing a specific element to me that Florence Shin brought. Nobody can. It feels like they're copying her information,
It
and
will.
right,
Mhm.
they copied her information
They
and
did.
they dumbed it down and made it like more user friendly. You know, and there's still accepting yourself and working on yourself. This is a lot of work. It's not just you have to do this every day. You can't just like once. I'm not a big information person, but I know that I have to say something to myself every day, or I have to stop when I'm getting into the negative. I have to stop myself and say, hey, that's not going to work today. So it is a constant vigilant, recreating yourself, accepting yourself, that kind of thing. So I agree.
Loving yourself.
Loving yourself is one of the hardest things.
Forgiving ourselves. We're humans. Words, actions, and deeds. We're not designed to be perfect. And I think that's one thing I want to share with the audience. And I know you've heard this before because we've worked so close together. But, I've been doing this studying for many, many years, but I've been actually doing the work for over 35 years. However, nothing, and I have not met, and to this day, I'm still looking for that, a happy perfectionist. I have not found it yet. Okay. And I will do these charts that I'm like, oh, it's screaming at me that this person here is torturing themselves, because it's really when you want things perfect, it's kind of like you're always on the chopping block. And it's usually between your ears of judging yourself every single day for every little single thing. And at the end of the day, it's not perfect. So therefore, it's kind of a letdown. Do you see what I'm saying? So I
Absolutely.
always say, and I teach the good, better, best principle. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So swing your leg out of bed in the morning and give it your best shot. Forget the perfect stuff, because you're going to make yourself miserable.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing that. We have a wonderful question from YouTube from Ange. I don't know if she's Ange or Angie. I think it's Ange. Hello, both. May I please ask for your insight into my life partner, future husband? That's from Ange on YouTube.
Okay, but I need Ange's birthday, your month and your day at least.
Ange, what's your birthday? Ange. Let me see what she says. She's gonna. Oh, here it is.
Okay, there you go.
7/23/87.
Okay. Well, this is a year of you. If you could visualize with me, Ange, it's kind of like that you see the Lady Justice or that big scale. It's really weighing out. What you're going to do is you're going to weigh out. And I love this part, because once I learned this and studied with my teachers and applying it to myself, because I don't believe in the word selfish. I think it should be demolished out of the dictionary. Because, from the time you're 2, you already are on edge here. Don't touch it. Don't look that way. Don't say that. Be nice. Share your toys. So you've already learned how to kind of put yourself aside here. So then if you're not nice and you don't help everybody and their brother, well, that would be bad, or that would be selfish. You see what I'm saying here? So you're going to weigh out what's good for you, not good for you, healthy for you, not healthy. You have decisions to make this year. I would definitely do some inner work this year, Ange, to be honest with you, of what you truly, truly want. It's not like you haven't been around the horn a little bit here, but what have you learned? I teach, and it comes from my days of studying Shin, and the spiritual teacher that I had was pretty phenomenal. And she said, life's like a book. And at the end of the chapter, you kind of have a good idea of the scenery, maybe a character, or some sort of setting that, at the end of the chapter, you know something, and then you go to the next chapter. Well, it's just like us with our lives. We go through many different chapters. What have you learned from that chapter? Now, there could be different players in that chapter. There could be parents, it could be friends, it could be lovers, it could be mates, it could be different traits about yourself. I'm not the same Joanne that Josephine and Jim brought into the world and raised and set me off into the world. I was fortunate enough to have some fabulous role models, fabulous mentors. And I believe that life, I'm going to learn something today that I didn't know yesterday. And I encourage you, Ange, that this is a year for you to exactly do that. So you'll have decisions to make. Any contracts you come into or making any commitments, I want you to really look it over really well. I do feel like this summer is a very prosperous time for you. I think that this would be really good for you to get into that Heart Thoughts book with your coffee in the morning. So that as you're weighing out the different directions you want to go this year, is that you're making positive steps, leaps and bounds, so that when you hit 2021, it's like rocket fuel. But I do feel by the fall, you'll be pretty well learn some fabulous things along the way. I encourage everybody to work on themselves. When I'm going through really hard times, and Carolan knows and Tiffany knows that my husband was very sick. And so I could get really frightened and scared, but I had to do my Louise Hay, all is well. Even though that things didn't look so hotsy-totsy, even though that things were really kind of touch and go, um, all is well. And to getting into my affirmations and getting myself centered so that I'm not giving to fear, because fear will cripple you. Okay, so what is the opposite of fear? I teach this. The opposite of fear is because we're absent of faith. We're either not praying, we're not thinking, we're not saying, help me, show me, send me a sign. It could be a person, place, or thing. It could be a butterfly. It could be it could be somebody like Carolan, who's my go-to girl. You know, if somebody wants to talk to somebody on the other side, she's my go-to girl. And when she has people who need direction or need answers, she sends them to me. My readings are not like any other tarot card reader you're going to find, or
no, they're not.
Reader. It's very different because I guess you could call me the soul reader, really, if it comes right down to it. And we're all unique.
Joanne, we have some YouTube people, and we have a few in the chat room here. From Ange, just want to reiterate her comment. She says, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that advice. I'm waiting for Lisa's birthday. Lisa Johnson, I know you're on here watching. Your boy is just waking up, of course, because we're in the middle of the show. So that ought to be interesting, what happens now. And we have Anna has just joined us, and she says, happy Valentine's Day. Do you have any new info about a wonderful man coming in for me? My birth date is April 9. Thank you so much, she says.
Well, here's another gal, and it's really funny how this is running in the and it doesn't surprise me because souls tend to gravitate to one another. But this is another power year for Anna, and this is a time for her to really make some powerful decisions, directions, anything financial, investing, work-wise. Now, as far as the relationship, let me take it a step further. So we have
for Anna. How do you spell it? ANNA, Anna.
Right. I feel that definitely spring is starting, like April, May, and June. I consider spring. And I really feel like this is a fun time for her and a time for her to get out and meet other people. And this is where she could meet somebody significant. Again, let me reinforce, you have to have a non-negotiable list so that you don't have rose-colored glasses on as you're going out there mesmerized because somebody just made you feel like you're the best thing since vanilla ice cream. You got to have those rose-colored glasses off. I like to compare it to who's the boss in a baseball game, and that's the umpire. He calls it the way he sees it. It's a ball, a strike, a single, a double, a triple, out of the park, safe, home run, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to know what you're looking at. You got to ask open-ended questions. What's your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that? Don't be afraid to say of what because I is very powerful when you use what I as a person want, what I as a person expect. And that's part of your affirmations too. Affirmations can be loaded with expectations.
Good job, Joanne. Anna sent a little smiley face there. She says, thank you very much. Jules is another YouTube viewer. Hello, ladies. Any insights around a future significant other for me, please? 9/16/61. And that is Jules, Jules.
Well, this is definitely a year for you to definitely be in a relationship.
Whoops. Where's Joanne? What do we got going on here?
perfection or what we want perfect or whatever. But I do feel that you're very organized. You like things, you like to know what's coming. You don't, well, with love, sometimes you have to be open and receptive to when it just comes right in front of your face or knocking at your door. So, but I do feel that this is a year for you for partnerships. If you're open and receptive and have your non-negotiable list, definitely, I'd say by year end, you are going to be in a relationship. So I think that's really, really important. And remember, like I said, the non-negotiable list is very important so that you don't ever get confused with rose-colored glasses when you have a non-negotiable list. You're pretty much knowing if this is somebody, in order to have really love, and this is perfect for Valentine's Day. I teach this to my clients that are my life coach clients. In order to have healthy love, you have to have 3 ingredients. And the first thing is trust. And the second thing is respect, which is a two-way street. You can never give up self-respect, but you have to have respect for the other person. And the third thing is communication. If you are sitting across the table from somebody and you're sitting there with deer in the headlights from the person across the table, it's very hard to be on the same page, to know what they want, what they like, what they don't like. You have to have a communication. You've got to be able to agree to disagree. Okay? I hear what you're saying. I'm just not on that page. It doesn't have to be a war. It doesn't have to be an argument. I hear what you're saying. I'm just, I'm not there. Or let me think about it. Let me get back to you on that. Perfect. So that you're never just crawling into a shell and say, ignoring it or pushing it aside. It's best for you to get all your facts on the table and discuss it. Now, I will tell you that relationships don't work out of those 3 things. When respect is gone, I cannot help you fix it.
Right.
There's no rehabbing respect. None. Zero.
Thank you so much. Jewel says, thank you. Thank you so much. We have another question from Patty McCullen from YouTube. So we're getting quite a few from the YouTube viewing, so that's great. She's saying, good evening, ladies. Thank you for your great and inspiring show. Any insights for me? 12/20/66. And I apologize for leaving the screen. My third husband, Marley, has issues, and apparently he had to go outside. So it saved me from some problems in here, but he's adamant about going out, and he doesn't move much, so I have to let him move when he can. So if I get interrupted, it's him. Sorry. It won't last forever. This is all very new for us, and no matter what schedule I put them on, I'm down 1 dog, so I only have 1 dog left. My little girl went to heaven, so when he needs to go out, I have to let him out, and we're not on the right schedule yet. So, Joanne, how are you doing?
Is that Jewel? That's 12/20, right, Jewel? Right?
Yes.
Jewel. Okay.
Yeah.
This, I don't know, Jewel, if you've been feeling this January, February, March. Patty, what is that?
Oh,
Patty?
I'm sorry. That's Patty. That's
okay,
Patty.
Patty, 12/20. Okay, Patty. Right. Here's the thing, hon. It's kind of like January, February, March. I don't know if it's just kind of like you feel like, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on, or emotionally, you've got to let go of your past boo-boos, hon. Okay. But when I say let go of your past boo-boos, I want you to look at what did I learn from A, B, and C. In other words, is it Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Matthew, Jason, Thomas? Okay, there's always a lesson. You see, so just because somebody says something or labels us or thinks they have us figured out, it's not the truth unless you buy it. You see, so that's how we lose our powers, because we let other people pull on us and marginalize us. Okay, don't give your power away is what I'm trying to say here. So I want you to do some inner work, because I feel changes are coming, but I do feel that any past struggles or disappointments. I like to use the word disappointments because usually if you're disappointed in something or someone, that's when you got to deep breathe and say, okay, what do I need to learn from this experience? Okay. Rather than going down the rabbit hole of becoming the victim. Do you see? Whether it's, I'm not talking about just physically a victim, I'm talking about mentally and emotionally, which can be just as hurtful as somebody taking a swipe at us. Does that make sense? So I definitely feel that you have a couple different things this year. I just think you need to get outside the dots. Um, and I really feel like this uh, 18-month cycle is kind of a good thing, but sometimes it can be filled with, sometimes people move, some people, in fact, Marnie was going through this when I did hers earlier too. People move or change jobs or friends or do some sort of interchanges. It's really kind of like clearing the attic out. You know, this is a keeper, a treasure. This I don't know what I'm going to do with, so I'll put it over here, and this is definitely going out. So it's about a life-changing experience, but it's kind of like clearing the decks or coming to some conclusions. There you go, Patty. Great, honey. I'm
Yeah.
glad you got
She
that.
says,
So take this year, baby, and grow.
yes, true. Thank you very much. Also, I just wanted to add, I had the opportunity to teach a class Tuesday night on the four agreements. And I taught on the second one. It was a series of four classes. Each minister on the team took a class. And mine was don't take things personally. So that was a good, every time I teach something or do something, I learn something. And what was said about when somebody says something to you and you take that personally, that means you are entering into an agreement with them about that. So you're buying it, and you don't need to buy that. You don't need to, that's their perception. It's not your perception. So as you were saying, there are that theory that not to take things personally. If that, if somebody says you're stupid or you're fat, or, that's their perception. That's not truth. That's not the
Well, it's
truth.
their truth. It's their truth, not your
It's
truth.
their truth,
It's not going to
based
be my
on their beliefs.
right. It's not going to be my truth until I validate it.
Right.
Okay.
And if you accept it if you take it personally, then you are accepting it. You don't need to.
Well, I always say this: other people's opinions don't make it true.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
I want to
We
get
also,
I want to get that book real quick here.
okay. Sarah is saying, wow, thank you for that. Needed to hear that and that reminder. Laura, if we have a minute, yes, we do, of course, for you.
Okay. Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know if you can see this, guys.
Yes, you can.
I know it's
Yeah.
backwards, but you get the gist here. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I really am encouraging, because I love to see people kind of really give themselves the leg up, the pat on the back, getting that love going within yourself. And you can start from the very beginning, or you could say, what do I need to know today? I and I just opened up to, I help create a world where we are safe to love each other.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and it's great because you can have this with your juice or your coffee in the morning or your yogurt. And it's a great way to start the day. One of my clients, my life coaching clients, he takes it's in his car. So he starts his day while he starts his car, and then he takes it into work with him, and he'll have it, maybe pick out something.
Nice. Huh?
But it's really, really good because it helps you repair yourself. I think we all need to do a little tweaking, and that's okay. I think a lot of times we become stuffers because we think that makes us strong, and that's not true. It's kind of like if somebody's sitting next to me and they start poking me, okay, and then they poke me again. Well, the little Italian girl in me wants to hit them. That's totally against my nature, but it's kind of like people do that with their words, actions, and deeds. You see the poke, 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 and the zing, zing, zingers, and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
you don't have to let it affect you if you're aware.
Yeah. There are people like that, and that's what they do. I guess that's how they entertain themselves. I don't know. We have a question from Laura. I have her date of birth here somewhere. May 10th.
Oh, okay.
Love your insights on seeing me moving or not.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Well, this is like the fourth person in the cycle of the same cycle this year. And this is definitely a time, if you want to move, honey, this is like the best cycle to be in, because it's like being a pioneer and blazing the trail. Now, the thing is that I encourage you, because I think you can procrastinate, and you need to get out that piece of paper with your pros and your cons, because I do feel by summer, well, you got 6 months. You got from July to December. There's a great movement here to really shoot forward and to make that leap. Okay. So definitely this would be a perfect year if you do want to move. And if there's an opportunity for a different job, I say go for it, because I feel that there may be some decisions that you need to make, whether it's to get accreditation or do some study, or I feel like there's something, I don't know if it's a certificate or a class or something, but I do feel that that would be very good for you this year.
Great advice. We're talking about your life coaching. Laura says, thank you very much. You do so many things, and your readings are so interesting. And please look at the psychicjoanneleo.com website. It tells you a lot about Joanne and her training and how she operates and the way she thinks. She has a great philosophy, very positive outlook on life. It's been personally very helpful to me, overcoming a few things, and got me out of that rut and a new way of looking at myself. So I thank you for that. She does tarot with a twist, readings from the heart, life coaching, and I would say with a velvet hammer. Does that make sense?
I use that term all the time.
Oh, okay, you do. That's where I got it from you.
Yeah, I do use the velvet hammer. I think most people, and what I've heard from my clients over the years, is that they finally found a reader who's a straight shooter, not somebody who's rainbows, unicorns, and just the fluff or whatever. And my tarot with a twist are cards that are not used anymore. They were developed in the 80s, and they're read astrologically and psychically together, along with a lot of my spirit guides influence, let's put it that way. So I always get to the nitty gritty. There's something, I mean, nothing gets left unturned. I think people know that I lovingly support them, and I certainly can also use the velvet hammer very judiciously.
It was a big help to me, and I've been told that too. I've been told, some people will want me to what would you say, tamper it down. Don't be so Jersey. Oh, people think, they're a little worried about you because you're too Jersey. Really? You'd rather be, I would be a snake in the grass like you people and come up from behind. No, I don't operate that way, hon. That's not how it works. I tell you, I don't waste your money. I don't go on for hours and hours. I don't give you a bunch of fluff. I lay it on the line. I give you exactly what I get. If you need a little counseling or something, I'd be glad to help you. I even did card readings today. Was it today or yesterday? I'm so confused. I don't do cards, but they called up and they needed a reading with cards. So I did it. I mean, I can do it. I just prefer not to. But they were delighted. So I took a leaf from Laura Romero's book and used 2 decks. Wow, I don't even use cards. And now I got 2 decks going. So I was very impressed with myself. And it worked out. But it is nothing as compared to what Joanne Leo does. When she does a reading for you, this is a unique, tailored experience because she's using your date of birth and the spelling of your name, because it's my understanding that each letter has a number value as well. And this is how you're registered in heaven. So this reading is tailored to you. So what you're getting is you're getting tarot with a twist, reading from the heart, psychic numerology. Nobody does this, people. Only psychic Joanne Leo. That's it. She is unique, one of a kind. Get on that website, book your reading, because you will not regret it. Believe me. Nobody does what Joanne does. It's phenomenal. She will blow your doors off. I've seen her read 45 people in 2 hours at our church. Boom, 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 boom. Just nailed them. And that was just cute. Can you imagine what are your readings? A half hour to an hour?
I have half hours and hours. Now, when I do the soul reading, I do it in an hour. I also use several decks of cards. When I finish my readings, I always use Archangel Michael cards, and I use message from the angels cards. So they get a little bit of everything with me. They get the psychic, they get the life coach, they get the card reading. So when you say that I'm different, I don't know anybody that does psychic numerology like I do.
No.
But I'm trained. I have my master's in the real deal. And in 2007, my spirit guide took over the work. So I can't even repeat. I have everybody record the readings because I can't even repeat, because it's a download from heaven. And that's the best way I can describe it.
Joanne, Sharon wants to ask about her grandson. She didn't give me the birthday. Yeah, can I ask about my grandson's birthday? Sharon, do you have his birthday? Oh, here it is. 2/20/20.
Oh my God. That is, oh my God, what a wonderful,
pretty cool.
What a special soul that is. Oh my gosh. I'd love to know his name, honey. What's his name?
What's his name, Sharon? Jason.
Okay.
Oh, he isn't born yet. He's not born yet.
He's not born yet. You're right, but that's his due date. In other words, is Jason going to be? Is he going to be born a cesarean? Is it a cesarean?
Let's see what she says. That's a very interesting question. Says 2. Oh, I'm sorry, it was wrong. 2/20/2004.
Okay. Hello.
So he is alive. He's born.
I was going to say,
it's like, whoa.
I got to figure this out. Okay. So let's see. It's 2/20/2004.
Right. Sorry about that, Sharon. It's hard to type and watch, and I find that.
This kid, number one, will not like a lot of drama, won't like to fight, wants everything balanced, but will be very, very, he likes structure, he likes routine, he like, the best thing I could tell his parents to do with this kid is to, he's 16 now, or going to be 16, or yeah, he's going to be 16. He can be anything he wants to be. He's very strong. He's very smart. I just want him to stay focused. I guess that would be the best thing I could tell the parents of anybody that has children. I love doing family charts. When I do family charts, I can pick and show the relationships and the soul connections. I will blow people's doors off, because I'll nail it about either their parents or their kids or their mate or whatever, because it's all so connected. And that's why I love the work that I do. I am different, and the rewards of seeing the people leave or hang up the phone is I can't even tell you what joy it brings to me.
That's really interesting. A family chart. Very good point. I like that. I told you she's unique. Nobody does this stuff, people. It's only Joanne Leo. PsychicJoanneLeo.com. Sharon is saying Jason's dad, you are spot on. He lost his dad, and I am raising him. His dad passed 12/11/2018.
Well,
Sharon, is this your son or your son-in-law? Your son. Okay.
was that a sudden thing with the father passing? I feel it was very sudden.
Yes.
Sharon.
Yes.
And but this kid is a smart kid. He needs to stay on the right track. If I was sitting next to you, I'd say to he needs to set goals. He needs to be strong. He also he can be a natural born leader, so he's got to take the look for the good and set some goals here. And I would encourage him to do that. Also, to with the sudden death of his father, there's always it's grief is a strange thing. You have the sadness, you have the missing part, and then you have the memory part. And Carolan knows what I'm talking about because she works on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I like to help the here and the now of the little soul dancing around this globe here. But I definitely think this kid can be anything he wants to be as long as he is not his own worst enemy. And I would be careful of who he hangs with so that he sets some very powerful.
The dog. She said it's her son. Yes, he's having a hard time losing his dad because they were close. I just want to say to Jason, that's why I asked if it was your son, Sharon, because I feel it closest. I also have a plaid shirt here, so I don't know if he wore that, but I see him in a plaid shirt. And as I agree with Joanne, I feel this was sudden. And I also feel a lot left undone. I want Jason to know that his father is like right there with him. It was never, Jason's father did not want to go. In particular, it was, I feel very sudden, and that he left a lot of things undone, but he is right there next to his son. And he's talking about swimming, something about Jason swimming or learning to swim, and also that he's going to help guide him. And he's also talking about a Native American presence around Jason. There's some regret with this young man, and Jason's father is a young man to me, and I feel that there is some regret of things left undone. So his apologies for that, and I just want to let Jason know you were never alone because your father is with you. He's showing something gold here, so I don't know if it's a necklace. He's holding something gold, nice looking young man, like a chain. Maybe something you wear, and something about a chain, like maybe a metal across, something like that. So I hope that's applicable to your son. And I also feel a sign for my son to ask to respond the way his dad was 39 when he passed. Sharon is trying to come up with a sign for his son to ask for. His dad was 39 when he passed, and she said, you are so right. You don't need to ask for a sign. I'm going to tell you that there's a baseball here too. So I don't know if I don't have Jason's dad's name, but there's a baseball here as well, and something that he's helping him cope with. And about the swimming, his name is John. Okay, so John, Jason's dad, John, apologizes about leaving things undone, but he right there. And there's something about something that is recurring, and it's in nature. And I don't know if it's butterflies or birds or something to that effect that Jason is asking for. I wouldn't worry about asking so much as it is enjoying those special moments, Sharon, with Jason. Like when you take him somewhere, that's when you are both together is when these signs are going to show up, when John is going to make himself known. I'm sorry that I'm out of time. I want to reiterate Joanne's website is psychicjoanneleo.com. Please check that out because you won't get a reading from anyone else like this. Joanne is fabulous. And we thank you all for joining us in the Psychic Flow. And I hope that you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you all for joining us. Laura said it was a great show. Wonderful having you all. Next time, next week, don't be hiding in the green room. You got to participate with us because we need you and we love you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Joanne, so much. Till next time.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.